Now, still going strong. And after all the words are said and done, that's when the King of Kings shall reign. Ooh, proclaiming judgment on each and every one. There will be justice, and the prophets will rise again, and all the evil games
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. All right. Good morning, folks. We are back with you for another day. It is a Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. And one piece of tire just took over me a while ago. Boy.
Could you mention hump day?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. All right. Halfway there for those of you on the countdown.
If you're walking up until Friday.
Yes, I'm talking to people like myself. I'm only talking to people like myself. All right. So yes, good morning, folks. We are back with you.
To get extra day for you, maybe.
I work at home, Maka. I might not be doing WEFM work, but I have other work to do at home.
Doesn't matter. We'll try to get a day for you.
You just want for me in the same position like you. Boy, you see, yes.
What's that? Winning the lotto? What position is that, Roleza? Winning the lotto? Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to you too.
Good morning.
How are you all?
We good. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm really, really well.
All right. So yes, good morning to those of you wherever you are in terms of listening to us, particularly those of you in public transportation, drivers and conductors. All right. Just saying special good morning to all of you, all right? Just saying special morning.
And it's an important day today. It's Earth Day. Today is Earth Day. So remember to tell people to plant something and eat what we grow and grow what we eat and treat the earth kindly and all those other good things. So SVG and friends everywhere, it's Earth Day. Stick a pin.
Okay.
Nicole, I saw they have like 10% custody for the killing.
Yeah, let's see where that goes. And the head of that unit, he would be the I'm not sure what. I think he's the acting superintendent, acting inspector. Let me just verify his position. But he has been put on leave actually until whatever is investigated. So he has gone on leave. I glimpsed it early this morning, and then I said I'll check it out before the day
How many
gets going.
police officers though? Maka,
What's this? He's the Assistant Commissioner of Police for the municipality, for the municipal police stations. So he's gone on administrative leave, pending investigation.
Well, I mean, which is fair because it happened under his watch, so that is understandable, right? But that whole situation sounds like some kind of plot from out of a movie because it does not sound real at all.
It is. It also is telling of people's minds and hearts, and of the bigger motive because it's really it's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely unreal.
And I suppose it goes to the question of who do Trinidadians end up trusting if you can't trust those who are supposed to be serving and protecting you? So,
and that's been the debate. Mm-hmm.
Nicole, what are the public saying towards this though?
It's exactly what Roleza just said. The whole issue around trust, as well as the whole thing around custody. And particularly armories. How do you protect armories? And then, of course, people were asking a lot of questions about how many people were actually at the station. So You know, that was still a little unclear. At some point, it might have been clarified just a little bit. But there's so many layers to this, and the base of it all is trust. If you cannot, particularly, I always say, two people you need to be able to trust all the time is police and bankers. You need to be able to trust bankers with the purse and the vault and the everything.
We important preachers in that mix it too. With
well,
spirit.
Well, you know what? They too. So, I mean, you have to really have that sense of knowing that you could close your eyes and trust people. And particularly in this serving and protection space, you want to understand that anything that happens, they are going to take your interest at heart.
Yeah.
And not the other way around. I am, it had me thinking all weekend. I was like, God, I mean, you sit down next to this person. Them asking you what you bring for lunch. You're telling you, oh gosh, it's mango season. Come by me and pick mango. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You don't know how. You don't know.
Yeah, it's this happening. But we're going to get into our own story here in just a second. So let's just deal with two quick matters. The first one being the amendment to the Representation of Peoples Act. That bill that was to go before Parliament yesterday, it has been postponed. All right. So reading here from Eyewitness News, the controversial bill, let me just zoom in my eyes directly on it. So the Prime Minister acknowledged that the public interest in the Representation of People's Amendment Bill 2026 and the Constitution of SVG Amendment Bill 2026. He recognized that there's public interest. These are the ones that you've heard comments about in the public media and so forth. And to clarify what is foreign powers or states, said Friday, who is slated to table the bills later in Tuesday's sitting, which was yesterday. This is something that is of great public interest. We put it in the order paper here today again because it's a great public interest matter. This is a constitutional matter. It's not going to be dealt with today. That is a matter we'll have a broad public involvement in so that we can make a decision at an appropriate time, the Prime Minister said. All right. So he says that what I'm really pleased about, though, is that there has been quite a lot of interest that has been given to this matter. And hopefully we have a fruitful discussion and then we will make the final decisions as to what the amendments would be, how we proceed and so forth, that we have a broad public appeal. All right.
I wonder if the public is satisfied with that.
Who is you see, it depends on who we define as public now, right? Because there are generally two camps in these type of
the public.
There's two camps in this whole conversation: those who agreed with the amendment being put forward and those who did not agree with it, right? But there are also sub-camps where there are persons who were looking at it just strictly partisan politics eyes and those who weren't, right? So I suppose, who are we defining as public? And but I didn't look at too many of the comments in relation to this in particular, this article in particular. But I suppose for those who were not too keen on this matter going forward in this particular way, then they're happy that generating from the discussions within the media that the government has held back and they're postponing going forward, right? But
so what is next now? That we wait until the courts?
Okay, so I am not sure if this is still, because he says that it's going to be put towards for public discussion. They're going to listen to the views of the public, or I suppose listen to the views of the public more, right? Because there's a lot and ample conversations that happened around it. But I'm not sure if this is going to still be put forward before the 27th of July when the court case happens, or if it's going to be put forward after. Not quite sure, because he didn't put a time frame to it. It just said that it has been postponed, right? So that is where we are here with regards to this matter. So we'll see what happens. All right. And in other news, yesterday, sometimes when you open up your phone, you just want to see some good news, right? Legit just want to see some good news, but unfortunately, yesterday was not one of those days. Reading this also from Eyewitness News, a prophetess was killed during an attack by a mentally ill man. A prophetess is dead and a mentally ill man in custody after she was attacked allegedly by a man at her home on Tuesday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Rose Claire Williams. She's 60 years old of Diamond, who is a prophetess of the Victory Kingdom Covenant Ministries International in Diamond. Her body was found in her yard around 1:15 p.m. with what appeared to be stab wounds. When police reviewed CCTV footage in the area, they saw that Williams was in her garden attending to her plants when she was attacked by a man with a history of mental illness. Police have since taken one Branson Prince into custody and he is being assessed at a health facility. All right, so this is news that is disturbing. And I suppose it lends so much to the whole topic that we've been having, particularly with life.
Yep.
On this whole situation of mental health, mental illnesses, how persons are being treated, is it being significantly dealt with, and sometimes the consequences of inaction. And maybe in this case, what has happened to somebody who was attending to her plans.
I wonder what's going to happen next if the authority is going to deal with most of these mentally ill persons in the city, because a lot of people have a problem with all these mental ill persons in the city. Mm. So I hope this is a warning for the authorities.
Yeah, but now it's going to extend, because it's not just in the city. We realize that this lady was at her home.
Well, correct.
It's not just about walking through Kingston, which is public space. Mm-hmm. Where you're going to have persons coming to the city to conduct business. This is not the first
time something like this happened. I remember something like this happened across Gibson Supply. I don't know if you remember.
With the security guard who was going home. Yeah, I remember that story.
And I'm sure you have other instances.
Yeah, and it's interesting because even yesterday, I feel like every time I go into town, I'm seeing a new face.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was the first time I saw this lady. She probably maybe just a little bigger than me. But she was picking up bottles, well, I guess to carry them to be recycled. But she picked up a container that probably contained some soup, some empty soup, and she drank the rest of it, right? And then she put back the empty thing on the ground. And I'm there saying, but I've never seen this lady before, So I feel like every time I go into Kingston, I'm seeing a new face, and
Kingston is the place where most of them come to, at least to get things to eat and so forth. So
yeah, but it's just disturbing. It's disheartening. It's just one of those situations where you just feel like every day is something. Every day is something new, and it's every day something disturbing. And to know that this happened at your home in your garden, now everybody, you come outside,
you're at home,
you're tending to your plants, you're doing this, you're doing that. You are not expecting to possibly meet your maker on that day. You didn't get up in the morning with that, thinking that could possibly happen to you. So
you know what's gonna happen now? Persons gotta keep the eye very, very close on these mentally ill persons now.
And you really should, you really should, for your own self-protection, just in case, And it's not that you're trying to ostracize them, you're not trying to stigmatize them, but you also have to be self-aware as a person, as an individual. So
I remember the last time most of these mentally ill persons was picked up, I think it was when the prince was coming to St. Vincent. And it made me smile because I see so much of them, like let's say about over 20 of them on the truck.
You actually saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have a question in terms of institutionalization and stuff. Are there homes, or is there a place that they go to? What's the arrangement? Is there a duration of stay? Is there a post-stay evaluation? How long is it for? Do they involve family members? At what point is it a diagnosis? Is it after it's too late? Is it when you see it displaying in the school, in the classroom or at home? What are some of the things that are some of the gaps that you start looking at filling, and from when?
And that's the thing. And in terms of institutional, in keeping them in an institution, I suppose it also comes down to how do you detain them, because you can't just involuntarily.
First of all, how you diagnose them.
Right.
Because that's the thing, people mix up mental illness and mental health and mental well-being. But mental illness is where you have the various levels of ailments that are associated with mental health. And those are where you have to diagnose whether it's schizophrenia, whether it's bipolar disease, and you have various categories and levels as well. So
and
I mean, what is
violent to the public, because there's also you can have those conditions but not also become violent,
and especially on the medication and stuff. So how is the regulation and that kind of thing, and how is it managed?
Yeah, so it is. It's a difficult one, right? It's a difficult one, but we are going to take a break at this time to bring to you this morning's traffic talk. And remember that at 7:45, we bring to you Life Today, commentary by Life Compton. This is Activated Mornings here on WEFM.
Nothing else sounds as good as